So good morning, everyone, and welcome. My name is Jacqueline Morosco of Spirited Practice, and I'd like you to start by taking a comfortable seat and starting to focus on your breath. And noticing as you settle into your seat, feeling your hips on the ground, noticing your breath moving through your body. As you breathe in, follow that inhale and notice where you stop feeling sensation of breathing in. And then taking a moment to scan through your body. How are you feeling today? Right? I was saying that, I had been on Zoom for way too many hours yesterday, and I could just feel it in my body, even though I moved in between calls. So one of the things that came to me this morning as I was doing my meditation is I need to make sure, and I think this is for all of us, that we still move our bodies, whether it's walking or yoga, whatever it is. As long as you keep moving your body, we're going to all be much better off. And then I want you to think about how you want to feel at the end of our practice today. And so before class, I was asking people what they wanted to work on, and the things that came up were lower back, hips, and core. So that will be our focus for today. And so some things that, and you might want to have these if you have them in your home, something to use as a block, which could also be a folded blanket, a strap, which could be a belt or a sock, and some tennis balls. And if I didn't say it, a blanket. All right, so just as you're settling in, your breath is moving through your body. I'm going to invite you as we move through practice today that you continue to move your body with your breath. So we're going to start while we're seated here, and the inhale is going to be taking your arms up in line with your ears, and exhale, bringing them down. And just moving slowly with your breath, inhaling up, exhaling down. And one more time. And then you're going to take your left arm and you're going to look at your hand. And with your breath, you're going to inhale that arm up and follow it as back as far as you can with your eyes. And then exhale back to center. And then when you get down to the bottom, you're going to alternate sides. And don't go too far. Make sure that as you're moving, it feels good in all the different parts of your body. Inhaling up, following that arm with your eyes, exhaling back down. And we'll do each side one more time. And there's no rush. If you move faster or slower than me, that's totally okay. Now, however you're sitting, I'm going to invite you to stretch your legs out. And you could have a little bend in your knees if that feels better. And what I want you to do is just tilt through your pelvis a little bit. So I like to bend my knees as I come forward, and just kind of noticing how that feels in your hips and your lower back. Just tilting your pelvis, moving front to back. Don't overdo it for those of you flexies out there. Now, eventually we'll come to a place where the legs are straight, and you're going to take your hands down in front of you on the floor and just start to walk your fingers forward as your body comes forward. And we're not trying to bring the head to the ground. You're trying to bring your heart towards the ground. And you're just slowly walking forward. Now, as you're here, feel your legs on the ground and flex your feet, engage your legs a little bit, and pull in towards the center with your legs. So you're not moving your legs, you're isometrically pulling in towards the center. And then on one of your inhales, you're gonna walk back up, and we're gonna do that one more time. So inhale, and then exhale as you start to walk your hands forward. Legs are engaged and pulling in towards the center, noticing all those wonderful sensations that you feel. And you're still breathing. And then on an inhale, you're gonna walk your hands back up. Now we're gonna bend the knees and take your feet a little bit wider than hip distance apart. And the hands will be on the inside of the legs. So your inhale is gonna be up. Now this time we're gonna round the back. You're gonna exhale towards the ground. Inhale, slide up the inside of your lower legs, and then exhale, round down towards the ground. And as you're doing this, you're noticing, like, what are you feeling in your back body, in your hips as you move? And we're gonna do it one more time. And this time when you come up, I want you to find your tennis balls. And again, if you don't have tennis balls, you can do these movements without tennis balls. If I could see you, I'd give you some tennis balls. So we're gonna take our tennis balls, you're gonna lift up one leg, go just outside the sits bone, and then do the second side. Your feet are towards one another, maybe touching. And then very carefully, you're gonna move side to side. And then we're gonna bring ourselves over to the left side. So your tennis ball on the right will come out, and I want you to just kind of go right into the center of your glute. And I like to be on my elbow here. You could also have a block under your elbow, and you're rolling into the center of your glute to a place where, like, so you might feel sensation, but if it hurts, obviously, please stop. Now, when you've had enough of that, you're gonna sit up and you're gonna take that tennis ball, and now you're gonna work the tennis ball around your sits bone. And again, you could be on your elbows, you could be on your hands, but we're just working on one side right now. And so since we, before class, we're talking about hips, one of the things I like to do to help to loosen up the hips is work with the tennis balls. Again, when you're done rolling on that side, we're gonna go to your second side. And again, right into the center of the glute. Now let's say that this doesn't work for you. You could massage this part of your body with your hands if you don't have tennis balls or if you don't like the tennis balls. You can also use something that is a little bit softer than tennis balls. Like at the dollar store, I got a bunch of different kinds of balls some are really soft. Now, again, when you're done with that glute, you're gonna come around your second sits bone on your elbows or on your hands. You could also, if you don't want to do this with the tennis balls, you could also be massaging your feet or your legs with your hands. And you might find as you're rolling around that some parts are more tender than others. And you're just exploring and making sure that nothing hurts. Now from here, hopefully both sides are feeling about the same. You're going to take your tennis ball, so your butt is on the ground. We did this the other day. And you're gonna put your tennis balls, just press them into the lower back and come back, bend your knees, and then shift your knees from side to side. And if it's too tender, you can, one, get rid of the tennis balls or move them a little bit away from the back. You can also work on different parts of your lower back according to the placement of the tennis balls. Now, the last thing I want to do with the tennis balls while we're here is you're gonna take your tennis balls from the back and put them in the front so your butt stays on the ground, and you're gonna press those tennis balls in and then very carefully start to roll over the tennis balls. So front to back, or you can bring your knees side to side. So loosening up all the connectors around the pelvis. And I find that this helps to relieve lower back pain as well as loosen up those connections into the legs. Now, when you're done with that, what I want you to do is to make your way onto your side. And you're going to stretch your legs out. And you're on your elbow. You're going to flex your feet. And we're going to lift up your top leg. So you're going to lift it up and hold and breathe. And then bring it down. So lift up, hold, and then bring it down. And you're still breathing, right? Now, next time you lift your leg up, you're going to invite that bottom leg up to the center. So energetically, you're pulling your legs towards one another and you're still breathing. You could also be down on your arm if it doesn't feel good to be up on your elbow. And then relax both legs to the ground. And we're going to switch to the second side. So again, your feet are flexed, you're in a straight line with your body, and you're going to just start by lifting up the top leg and holding it. So you're holding the leg, but you're still breathing. And then you'll bring that leg down. And again, we're going to lift it up again. Hold the leg, breath moves. Bring it down. And this time, again, you're going to hold the leg up and invite your bottom leg to join in with your top leg. They may or may not connect, not important. Still breathing. And then relax both legs down to the ground. Now from here, we're going to make our way onto our back body. And you'll want to have your block or your folded blanket close by. So very carefully, you might roll to your side or you can roll back. You're going to get yourself onto your back body. And if you do have a block, the folded blanket might not work well here. You're going to place that block between your knees, arms around the ground, and feeling your feet flat on the ground, relaxing your arms, your head and shoulders and back body on the ground. You're just going to start to tilt through your pelvis, front to back. And then coming to a place where you stop, and I like to walk my feet a little bit in closer to my hips. You're going to use your arms and your shoulders in the ground. You're going to inhale, lift up the hips, exhale, bring them back down. Inhale, lift up, exhale, bring them back down. You might find that your hips don't come up as high when you're holding on to the block, and that's totally okay. Now, next time your hips come down, we're going to take a breath, notice how you're feeling, and now we're going to add in the arm movements. So the inhale, you're going to sweep both arms overhead. Your vision stays towards the ceiling. Exhale, hips down, arms down. So just carefully moving with your breath. Inhaling, hips come up, arms come up. Exhaling, hips come down, arms come down. And last time. And again, when you come down to the ground, just soften, notice your breath, feel your back body on the ground. And then we're going to lift up both feet. You might have to readjust your block. And if you don't have a block, you can still be doing the same thing. Now your feet are flexed, so your muscles in your legs are engaged. Inhale is going to be to the center. Exhale, you're going to take your knees over to the left, just, 2 to 4 inches. Inhale back to center, and then do your second side. So inhale is center, exhale as you move to the side. You're not rushing, it's not a swingy motion. And we're going to do it one more time on each side. You can come down a little bit further this time if that feels good. If not, stay with the 2 to 4 inches. And then second side. Back to the center. You can take your block out, bring your feet down, carefully roll onto your side, and then we are going to come all the way up to standing. So once you're up standing, you're gonna find your tennis ball. As most of you already know, one of my favorite all-time things to do in the world, and we're gonna roll our feet on the tennis ball. And you wanna see if you can get all the different points of the feet. So the heel, the arches, the padded part under the toes, and just kind of noticing how your feet feel as you're rolling them. We'll move to the second foot. This is also a great time to reconnect with your breath. And also when we come up from the ground to standing, you know, just noticing how that feels energetically in your head. And then you're gonna find your block again. Again, this can be done with or without the block. So now your feet are about hip width apart and you're pulling into the center with your thighs. And just for a moment, as you're here, you're feeling your feet on the ground, pulling in towards the center. We're gonna bring the hands onto the thighs. Inhale up, exhale, slide down slowly. It's okay if the knees bend. Inhale, slide back up. So you're exhaling down, inhaling up, keeping your hands connected to your body as you move. And this next time that we come up, I'm going to invite you to roll through your shoulders, and you can do them both at the same time or one at a time. All right, now we're going to switch. We're going to do similar movements, but we're going to switch it up a little bit. So inhale as you're standing. Exhale, you're going to slide your hands down your legs. Inhale is going to be halfway up. And exhale, you're gonna sit back. Hands are on the thighs. Inhale, up to standing. Exhale, slide down your legs. Inhale, halfway up the legs. Exhale, sit back. Inhale, stand up, press your feet into the ground. Exhale, slide down your legs. Inhale, coming halfway up the legs. And exhale, sitting back. Now here, we're gonna hold this position for a moment. Make sure that your lower back feels comfortable. Bringing the hands to the heart center. We're gonna add a little pressure on the hands. So you're pressing into the center with the heels of the hands and the fingers of the hands, and the thumbs are resting on your breastbone. Long, smooth breaths. And at any time, of course, you can stand up if your quads start to get tired. So now we're gonna inhale up, and exhale, you're gonna do a slight twist over to the side. Inhale, back up to center. Exhale, come down to the second side. Inhale up, exhale down. Making sure you're moving with your breath. And of course, that all the parts in your body feel okay as you're moving. One more time on each side. Inhale up, exhale side, inhale up, exhale side, inhale up. Exhale, hands to the heart center. Take a moment to connect with your breath. We're going to be taking the block out, and we're going to come to a fairly wide stance with our legs. And for a moment, just look down at your feet. We want the feet parallel or the heels slightly out. And connect with your breath. Inhale is going to be standing. Exhale, we're going to slide down one leg. Inhale up. Slide down the second side. Now, if it sounds inviting as you're sliding down, you're going to take the outside elbow up towards the sky. Now, if you want to bring your vision up towards that lifted shoulder, you can add that in as well. And you're doing whatever aspects of this feel good in your body. Going as deeply or as lightly as you want to go, just making sure that it feels good. Okay, and this time when we finish our second side, you're going to come up and now we're going to bend the knee over the foot. So when we're standing here, your feet are pulling into the center so that you can feel those inner thighs engaged, and you're going to try to hang on to that as we go through these movements. And at first, you're just going to bend one knee and stand up. So inhale up, exhale, bend that knee. Moving with your breath. And noticing, again, your feet on the floor, noticing how your knees bend, using the muscles in your leg to help you here. Now, the next time that we go to our first side, you're going to take that arm and you place your forearm at the top of your hip, and you're going to slide down. Inhale up, alternate sides, exhale, slide down. And I know it might feel a little awkward if you're not used to this motion, but you're just exploring and seeing how it feels. Now, when we come down to this first side again, you're going to stretch that outside arm up in line with your ear. So inhale is up, exhale, slide down, and we're alternating sides. Now this time when we come down to our first side, we're going to hold the position. So feel your feet on the ground, really extend that hand, push out with your palm of your lifted arm. You're still breathing. And then on an inhale, slide on up. Second side, slide down that thigh, stretch that other arm up, press your palm back. And we're holding the position, but you're still breathing. Long, smooth breaths. On an inhale, come on up. We're going to do one more thing in this position. So now we're going to use opposite hand. So you're going to inhale up, exhale, opposite hand comes down that thigh, and you're going to slide down as far as it's comfortable. The other hand is on your hip or reaching up towards the sky. Inhale up, second side, slide that hand down. Hand is on your hip or up towards the sky. Inhale up, exhale down. And don't worry about how far you get. You could be at your knee, your ankle. It's whatever is comfortable. So key here. One more time on each side. Now you get to have a little fun because, you know, maybe there's an animal there to hear you, maybe somebody in the other room. I'm going to invite you to make some noise. So your arms and legs are stretched out. You're still pulling in towards the center. On the exhale, we're going to bend elbows and knees, and you're going to make a little noise as you exhale. Inhale up, exhale down. I know it feels kind of aggressive, huh? One more time, inhale. And then let's step our hands and our feet together. Hands are meeting overhead. Now you could have your hands pressing in towards the center about shoulder distance apart, or you can bring your hands together, whatever feels good. Feel your feet on the ground. Inhale up, exhale, slide to the side. And here, you're not going as far as you possibly can. You're just moving a little bit to stretch out that side body. Inhale, center. Exhale as you come down. Great. And then you're going to relax your arms. And one more time, hands on the thighs. Inhale up. Exhale, slide down. If you want to engage your core a little bit more, you can keep your arms in line with your ears. Inhale up, exhale down. But always you're moving in a way that works for your body and feels good. And this will be our last time. Now, when you come up, I want you to, you're going to check in with your balance a little bit. Some of you might like to use the back of a chair or couch or a wall and place your hand on it. And we're going to reach for the right ankle and take the heel towards the buttock. And if your hand doesn't come to your ankle, you have a couple of options. You can just bend your knee, or you can place the strap onto your ankle. All right, so you're going to find your balance. The heel is towards the buttock at first. Your bent knee is staying towards your standing leg, so you're not bringing it out to the side. And then you're going to start to work that knee front to back. Again, in a way that feels good. Long, smooth breaths. Eventually, we're going to stop with that knee towards the standing leg and start to make space between the heel and the buttock. Now, if you're on the wall, you can walk your hand forward and bring your chest forward. If you're off the wall, you can start to reach your hand forward. But only moving in a way, again, that feels good. On an inhale, bring yourself up. We're going to slide that knee forward and then bring it down to the ground. Take a moment. Maybe your hands come to your heart center. How's your heart rate? Your breathing? And then we're going to switch to the second side. So again, just flip yourself around, reach for the left ankle. And again, at first, it's just heel towards the buttock. A lot of us will get a little stretch in our quad. The knee, bent knee, is towards your standing leg. Still breathing, and then possibly starting to move that knee front to back. And as we're doing this, you know, you're like, noticing all those wonderful parts of your body. We're going to start to make space between the heel and the buttock. And again, if you can maintain that space, you can work your hand down the wall or the sofa or out into the air. Bring your heart towards the ground. When you're complete, you're going to inhale up. Bring that knee forward. Step it down onto the ground. Take a breath. Check in. And before we move on to our next pose, I just want you to roll through your shoulders, both or one at a time, whatever feels better. Noticing, again, how you're feeling. Now here, I'm just moving to the side so you can see what I'm doing. Feet are about hip width apart. You're going to bend your knees slightly as you sweep the arms forward. Inhale is up. Exhale is down. Inhale up. Exhale down. This is one of those poses that I recommend if you're like sitting a lot and you need to bring your energy up for that next Zoom call. You can do this. Last time. And then exhale, arms down, hands to your heart center. Now for this one, some of you are going to use a tennis ball and some of you are going to keep your feet flat on the ground. If you're using the tennis ball, it's going to go under your right heel and you have a little bit of yellow sticking out behind your heel so that you're not right on your arches. And then I want you to take the 4 points of your foot, base of the big toe, base of the pinky, both sides of the heel, reach them in towards the ground. We're going to come up onto the left toes and start to pivot through that knee. And again, some of you might have a hand on the wall here. Safety first, always. Now, next time that knee is pointing out, you're going to slide that heel towards your ankle and then possibly start to lift that foot to the lower leg, hands at your heart center. Again, gentle pressure with the hands. Breathe and focus. So you might have your eyes on a non-moving spot on the floor, still breathing. Knee to the center, foot comes down. Come on, off your tennis ball if you're using it, and then we'll switch to the second side. So again, if you're using the tennis ball, you set it up so that there's yellow protruding out behind your heel, ground down through all 4 points of your foot. And seriously, like I have been working with rooting to the ground a lot lately. So even imagining roots growing out of all the edges of your feet into the earth, coming up onto the right toes and pivoting through the knee. And again, next time your knee is pointing out, you're going to slide that foot in, maybe up, hands at the heart center, just gently pressing into the center, breathing and focusing. It's okay if your foot comes down to pick it back up. It's also okay to stop. Knee to the center, foot comes down. Gently come off of your tennis ball and put it in a safe place. And then what I want you to do is we're just going to go up onto the toes. So inhale, arms up onto your toes, exhale down. You may notice always coming back to center. One of our goals here is to be in a state of equilibrium, even though we're raising our heart rate and our energy level. And then when you're complete with that, we are going to make our way down to the ground. Oh, actually, don't come down to the ground yet. I want to do one more thing. All right, so here we are. We're standing towards the back of our mat if you're on a mat, and your feet are about hip width apart. And you're going to step forward with your left foot. Okay, so it's kind of like you're in position for Warrior One, Virabhadrasana 1. Your front knee is bent. Both feet are on the ground. Your back foot's at a slight angle. And the inhale is going to be arms reaching up towards the sky. The exhale, hands come onto the back, and your body comes over that thigh. Press down with your feet. Inhale, sweep both arms up in line with your ears. Exhale, hands onto the pelvis, body towards the thigh. Moving with your breath, and of course adjust in any way that's more appropriate for you. We're going to do it one more time. Inhale up, exhale back. Now, while your body is forward, you're going to pivot up onto those back toes. Some of you might have your hands on the ground or on a block or on a wall. We're going to lift up that back leg. So you're just going to lift it up and come back down. And then some of you might start to find your balance. And eventually you're going to come back down, lift your body up, whoop, and step your feet together. You're like, this is more work than I thought it was going to be. That's okay. You're going to adjust it to whatever you need. So again, feeling your feet on the floor, we're going to step forward with the right foot. Front knee is bent. You can still see your big toe. Back foot turned out a little bit. Press down with your feet. Inhale up with the arms. Exhale, hands to the pelvis, body forward. Inhale up. Exhale down. And when you come down this time, feel your feet on the ground, possibly pivot up onto the back toes. Maybe your hands are on a block or the ground. Woo. And we're going to lift that leg up. Come back down, or lift it up, find your balance, and hold. This time, instead of stepping back with that foot, we're going to take it down in line with our front foot. Inhale up. And now we're going to come down to the ground. So, hopefully you're all doing pretty well here. Now, we're going to come down onto the ground. We're sitting. You're going to stretch out your legs. Place your hands on your thighs, flex your feet, And just like we did when we were standing up, you're going to inhale up and exhale, slide down over your legs. And just do that a few times as you come back to center. Inhale up, exhale down. And when you come up this time, we are going to make our way onto our hands and knees. So if you like a little blanket under your knees, go ahead and place one there. And if you, for some reason, can't be on your knees, you could be on your back body with your knees bent. Okay, so here we are. You're going to engage those lower abdominals so you have a flat back. Inhale up, exhale down towards child's pose. Just move with your breath. Inhaling up, exhaling down. We're going to do this a couple more times. Now, this next time that we come up, and with this next pose, you can do arms or legs or both. We're going to extend the left arm forward. Your vision stays towards the ground, even though you want to look up towards the video. And you're going to take opposite leg up, right? And we're trying to keep them in line, like parallel with the earth, not raising them up higher than the body. So inhale is here, exhale, hand and knee come down, and you move into child's pose. Inhale up, you'll take the second side, right arm, left leg, find your balance on an exhale, come down to child's pose. And we'll alternate sides, opposite arm and leg, inhaling up, exhaling down. If you want to hold for longer, you can add in more breaths, because always you're making the practice work for you. Last time on each side. And when you get yourself down into child's pose this time, you could have something underneath your head, like a blanket or a block. You can have your head on the ground. We're going to bring our arms along the sides of our legs. Just relax for a moment. If you're on your back, you're hugging your knees in towards your chest. And just so that you know, I didn't show this before, but what we were doing, you can do that same thing, but on your back body. So you'll know for next time. Now from your child's pose, you're going to sweep yourself around onto your back body. If you're already on your back, you're doing great. So now we're going to have our knees bent, just like we did before, about hip width apart, arms are down at your sides. Multi vinyasa, or a number of poses put together pose coming up here, okay? So feet are going to press into the ground. Inhale, hips come up, arms come overhead. Exhale, hips come down, knees come in towards the chest. Inhale, arms overhead, legs towards the ceiling. Exhale, knees towards the chest. Inhale, feet come down, hips come up, arms come overhead. Exhale, hips down, arms wrapped around the knees towards the chest. Inhale, extend the legs, arms overhead. Exhale, knees in towards the chest. I think you might have it now. Feet down. Inhale, hips up, arms overhead. Exhale, hips down, knees in. This is our last time. Inhale, legs up, arms overhead. And exhale, knees come in towards the chest. And we're going to stay here for just a moment, and you might gently rock side to side. Take your knees in a circular motion. How are you feeling right now, right? Now from here, if you have a block, you're going to find your block, or you can use a folded blanket. What we're going to do is elevate the hips a little bit, okay? And your block has 3 different levels. So you're going to find a position that feels good for you. And here, the idea is that we have our hips slightly lifted. Your shoulders are comfortably placed on the ground, as well as your arms and your head. And you're going to invite your chest up a little bit, opening up the chest. And then you're going to bring one leg up, maybe flex the foot, and then bring the other one. And we're going to stay here for just a moment. And you're noticing how your body feels. You want to make sure you're comfortable because we are holding the position. We're using it as a static pose. You want to make sure that all parts of you feel comfortable. So if you need to adjust your block or your blanket, you're going to bend your knees, take your feet down and fix it, as opposed to trying to do it by just popping your butt up. And see if you can relax for a moment. And on your exhale, just let your hips become heavy into the block or the blanket or the floor. Let your arms be heavy. On the inhale, let your chest open. And if you're someone who uses a full shoulder stand in your regular practice, this would be the place that you could add it in. We're going to stay for a couple more breaths. So if you want to move here, you could take your legs out into a wide angle. You could do little mini splits, or you can just rest with your legs up towards the ceiling. And then when you're ready to release, very carefully bending your knees 1 foot at a time, 1 foot at a time. You're going to bring your feet down and get rid of your blanket or your block. Now here, and I mean, we're all on different surfaces, right? But what I want you to explore, we're going to keep the right knee bent, and you're going to slide that left leg forward, and then you're going to slide it back in. And so if you're on a mat like I am, it might get in the way, so you might just fold it up. So right foot stays down, and you're just going to slide your left leg away from you and back slowly with your breath. Inhale, leg away. Exhale, leg comes in. And it might feel like a really easy movement, but just stay with me here. Now, next time that foot comes in, you're going to have your left foot on the ground. And again, start to slide your left heel away and in with your breath. Sometimes the greatest gifts come as little simple pleasures. I don't know where that came from, but and you're just sliding. We're going to do 2 more times. Now we're going to go back to our first leg, right? And you're going to turn your foot out, and now you're going to slide away at an angle. Okay, still inhaling as you slide the leg away at an angle. Inhale as you, or exhale as you slide it back in. Inhale away, exhale in. And you're just noticing we're not taking it too far out to the side. Now, next time that foot comes in, second side, turn your foot out to the angle, and again, slide out and in with your breath. Inhale away, exhale in, noticing where, if you feel sensation as we're doing these movements. And next time that foot comes in, we're going to pause for a moment. And then keeping your left foot on the ground, you're going to reach for your right knee and then take your left hand onto the right ankle and bring that leg across your body. And you're just going to hold on to it for a moment. Some of you might like to move side to side. Some of you might like just to hold it. But again, always what feels good to you. When you start to feel complete, you'll release that foot down to the ground, stabilize your body and your weight, and then bring in your left knee. And again, at first, just holding on to the knee, and then possibly reaching towards that ankle and bringing your leg at an angle across your body. And again, some of you might like to hold it, and some of you might like to move side to side. Like for me today, just holding it feels much better than moving. And just breathing, inviting your body to soften. And then again, releasing that foot down to the ground. And we are going to, at this point, check in and see if there's anything else that your body wants in order to feel complete before moving into Shavasana. So kind of do a scan head to toe. And if your body needs anything else, now would be the time to do that. And if you feel ready, we're going to do a short Shavasana, and then we'll do a breathing and a focus practice at the end. And hopefully you have all the stuff that you need to get yourself comfortable in Shavasana, letting your body become heavy, softening all the muscles in your head and your face. Gentle, smooth breaths in and out. With each exhale, just letting go of anything that you're aware of or not that needs to be released from your mind or your body or your breath. Vishokava Jyotishmati Vishokava Jyotishmati Vishokava Jyotishmati. Now, as you start to bring your awareness back to the room, check in. Do you need a little bit more Shavasana, or would you like to do a breathing and a focus practice? And that chant, it's actually the healing sound I did today in my video, and it's my favorite Yoga Sutra. It's chapter 1, verse 36. And what it says is, when I focus on the light, I become the light. And so I'm going to invite you, if you are doing our breathing practice, to take a comfortable seat and take a nice deep breath or two. And this breath is for bringing up your energy, right? Using, like, energizing the Apana region of the body, bringing our energy up. So you're going to inhale, pause, 2, 3, inhale again, pause, 2, 3, exhale completely. Inhale halfway, pause, 2, 3, inhale again, pause, 2, 3, exhale completely. And you want to make sure that your breaths are still full, right? So inhaling halfway, pause, 2, 3. You could extend that pause a little bit longer if you wanted, and then inhale some more completely. Pause again, 2, 3, exhale fully. And don't rush into your next inhale. Make sure you've exhaled fully, then inhale halfway. Pause, 2, 3, inhale some more. Pause, 2, 3, exhale completely. We're going to do it one more time. Inhale halfway. Pause, 2, 3, inhale some more. Pause, 2, 3, and exhale fully. And then as you complete that exhale, allow your breath to go back to its natural rhythm. Eyes closed or slightly opened, looking at one spot. I want you to picture, and I happen to have my candle lit in front of me, and you could do this practice with a flame, but I want you to picture light, right? Light coming in, whether your eyes are opened or closed, light coming in through your eyes, inviting them in through your energy centers into your heart. Imagine that as you breathe in, you're breathing light in with your entire body. And then as you breathe out, you're sending that light through your body and out to the planet. So breathing in light, breathing out light. We are light. We are one with the light of the universe. As we focus on the light, we become the light. And light can have many meanings, right? It can mean brightness, intelligence, the ability to see, life-giving, light can mean a lot of things. So whatever that word, what it connotates for you, just picturing that you are the light, you become the light, you share the light. So thinking about the possibility of you being the light, sharing the light as you move on throughout your day, or if you want to, kind of store that light away so that you can call upon it behind your heart at another time, you're welcome to do that as well. And then taking a moment to thank yourself, and I thank you for showing up here, for being a part of my world and a part of the world. And we are all intimately connected, even though we're not seeing each other like face to face. But really just being grateful for who you are and your light, the light that you be and share. And I'm going to say that chant one more time, and if you know it, or if, from hearing me say it, feel free to join in. Vishokava Jyotishmati. So thank you so much for joining me. Namaste.